What could
Uh,
possibly happen? I'm a teacher. It's fine.
what a thing to start the recording with. What could possibly happen?
What could possibly go wrong?
uh, but to bring us to a start, uh,
Yo.
it is currently nighttime. Uh, Prophet, you're sleeping. Shocker, with it being nighttime.
Nice.
Um, but for a few weeks now, your dreams have been increasingly filled with these kind of vague, like these vaguely foggy smoke shapes that you can never really discern what they are, and this sort of
Yeah.
underlying smell of musty, thick, like an earthy smell that you've always had a hard time placing. Uh,
Sure.
but tonight's dream is different.
Oh.
Tonight, these foggy shapes seem more real, more close, kind of cloying around you, carrying this thick smell on it that clouds your mind, and just the absolute thickness of it is making you cough and cough until you become aware of your own body. You become aware that you're in some form of physical space in this dream, which is a first. And
Sure.
as you're coughing, you fall to your knees against the ground and curl into yourself to try and catch your breath. But you brace your palm down on the ground and are immediately met with a strange texture. It's
Ooh.
wet, damp, with this sort of slimy sensation that's very foreign to you. Um, and when you open your eyes, for once you can see in these dreams. And you can see a floor that is covered in various patches of this thick, viscous words. This thick, viscous, yellow and orange slime of some kind. And I am gonna copy and paste a sort of vague reference image, but don't worry, I will spoiler it.
Sure.
But it coats the floor in these bright patches
Ooh.
against a blackness.
Awful.
Yeah, and you become aware you're in some sort of room staring down at a dark concrete floor covered with this. And now that you've seen it, you have a stronger idea of what this smell is. So distinctive, it's mold. You've smelled it before in various, houses you've lived in or places you've gone, but it's always been in small doses as opposed to this, which is so thick and pressing upon you that you barely feel like you can breathe. And as this moldy slime begins to crawl up your fingers and across your hands that are braced on the floor, you hear a faint rattling noise ahead of you. You trace your gaze up as the black smoke around you parts slightly, and you're able to see that you're not alone down here. You're somehow aware that you're in a deep, dark basement. You don't know how this knowledge comes to you, but you know it deep within you. And against the far concrete wall, there is a form leaned against it. Slumped and sort of seems to be dressed casually, a dark hoodie and baggy cargo pants that are all covered in branching lines of this bright mold, much like you are slowly becoming to look like. And there is this sort of desperation and worry lodged inside you that you can't recognize, but it drives you to struggle towards this leaned over form. And it's a struggle between the texture of the floor that squelches underneath you and the thick smell of mold choking you with every breath. But eventually, you manage it. And as you approach, something about the something about the figure is familiar. But you can't put your fingers on it, and By the time you're close enough to maybe make a guess, you're busy freezing in horror because of another reason. This person is dead. Not just dead, but half rotted away as a new smell cuts through that of the mold. Sour, decaying meat, biological rot. Parts of the skull are peeled back and exposed, muscle and skin around the injuries, curled and gray with festering spots of rot. But this was a person once, who knows how long ago. And as you take in the form of this long dead and decayed person, you follow down their near skeletal hand sticking out of their hoodie, with a horribly decayed musculature, to see that they are clutching a pair of pendants on a chain. One is done with black metal, a bird with outstretched wings carrying a crumbling skull. The other is a simple silver infinity symbol with one curve of it cracked just slightly. And as you're looking down at this, a heavy hand comes to rest on your shoulder, weighted with some sort of movement, but from the curl of the tips of the fingers, they're far too thin and hard to be anything but skeletal. And a low male voice comes to you, saying, "A shame, really. I had hopes that one would be able to follow through. I just suppose this means it's time for the next attempt." The hand tightens, bony fingers digging in with a sharpness like talons. "I'm sure you'd hate to end up forgotten and left to rot like this one, Try your hardest, little heretic, or else I might decide you too have failed me." The hand pulls away, and for but a moment, you swear you can make out more of the fallen figure's facial details, flickering in like a TV with a bad signal. A strong jaw, tanned skin with orange-yellow lines of some kind on their face, and messy brown hair that falls just to the chin. They're long dead, abandoned for failing their duty, their oath. May you not fall to the same fate. And with that, you jerk awake, panting in your bed, your alarm going off next to you. It's a Monday, a month and a half into the first semester of this year, and you have class soon. What would you like to do?
Yo, hold on. Kind of wild.
Sorry for the graphic gore.
No, I'm upstairs. I guess I'll make sure that I actually am awake, like go look in a mirror or something.
Fair. Looking in a mirror, you seem to be all there, give yourself a little pinch, that sort of thing.
Cool. Can I do any sort of insight to gain any more recognition about the figure's face, or is that like in past now?
You can roll a history check. I often treat history as also like a memory check.
I have +5, so hopefully this is...
Yo.
21.
Yeah, It was certainly, other than the distinctive lines on the face, it had kind of seemed like a face that, you would see in passing, anywhere. You've definitely never met this person personally. There is kind of something that tells you that this feeling of, I've seen the face somewhere semi-recently, but you're not entirely sure. You feel like maybe you saw it on TV or something a couple weeks ago.
Right. Okay. Uh, Damn, I guess I'll just like get dressed, ready to. You said I have class today?
Yes, you have 3 classes today.
Oh, what classes do I have?
You have your classes you're teaching. 2 of them are just the same thing, just like entry level, essentially biology. That you're teaching
Yeah.
to freshmen, so those are easy enough classes. But your class that you have after lunch is one of the more in-depth classes with second years, and that's one of your classes that Norelia is TAing in for you.
So I guess I'll just like grab everything, grab my briefcase, and head to the university.
Hell yeah! You head out. Are you the type to like make breakfast for yourself, or do you like grab something on the way or in the cafeteria or what?
Um, I feel like he's the type to just like grab something random and like eat it on the walk to work.
Hell yeah! I love that. Uh, as you're going, you do note, uh, you know, he's not usually this much, but Nito seems like very attached to your ankles today. As you're getting ready to
Oh,
go, like keeps looking up at you, like walking right by you. Doesn't seem to be looking for necessarily cuddles or pets, but it just seems to be staying right next to you as you're getting ready to leave.
hmm. Can I guess, can I insight check that?
Yeah, make a animal handling roll.
Yo, a -1, let's go.
I believe
One.
in you. A 1?
I rolled a 2, so
Bro, it's a cat. Cats be like that, you know?
I hate this game. God. I'm gonna, I guess I'll just like kneel down, give him a little stroke. Um, uh, yeah, I feel like he's the type of person to like talk to his cat. Um, yeah, he'll be like, "See you later, buddy," and then like leave.
Alright. You get a little mew as you close the door and head off to
Yes.
the university. I
I
also
mean,
talk to
like,
my cats, Ned. Don't
me
worry.
too. I talk to my dog when I'm at my dad's.
Hell yeah.
Yes, I head to work. He walks. He's a humble man.
Yeah, and it's not that far.
Yeah.
Um, your first 2 classes of the day are, pretty early and like pretty close together, so you don't really, have time to like go to your office and put your stuff down. But the 2 classes go smooth enough. You deal with some first years who are still rather rambunctious, still, have all their energy and life about them.
Yeah.
They haven't, died to the pain of university yet. Um,
Really?
but when you finally get a chance, you're able to go to your office, drop off your stuff, pick up anything that's been left for you, that sort of thing. Uh, and you are getting ready to head off to, maybe grab some lunch or something like that. Uh, and as you step out of your office, you notice that there's a new notice on the board in this area, and there's a couple teachers gathered next to it, seemingly discussing this notice. One of which you recognize as Professor Ziheng, uh, one of your coworkers that you work closely with. She is a large tiger tabaxi.
Sure. I will, I guess, stroll up and have a look at the notice.
It's hard to initially see the notice because there's like a few teachers who are like stepping close to it and taking pictures and stuff. But Professor Hang sees you approaching and kind of dips her head to you. Hey, how's your day going so far?
Not too bad, Professor. What about yours?
Going pretty good. Had some troublemakers, but it was sorted pretty quickly. Have you heard anything about this yet?
About what?
Well, apparently a student was reported missing a few days ago. He didn't disappear on campus, so it hasn't really, been spread around much here because apparently administration doesn't want to freak out the students. But the teachers are being warned to keep our ears and eyes open. Uh, Apparently, I heard, according to, the rumor mill, so who knows how accurate that is. But apparently, he was actually missing for probably a lot longer because he was only noticed to be missing because one of his teachers said something to administration about him never turning anything in the last couple weeks. And when a
Yeah.
wellness check was done in his dorm, like apparently it's been empty and just like torn apart for weeks now.
Torn apart.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't there, but apparently it looked like somebody had been looking for something in there. And as she says this, you're able to catch a glimpse of the missing notice up on the board. And there's kind of sadly the normal stuff written. Call this number if you have any information. It says his name is Marshall Julin. He's 21. I will write that name for you.
Thank you.
Um,
Sure.
and of note, his picture is that of a young man with a strong jaw, tanned skin, messy brown
Oh.
hair sheared off at his chin, with
Hmm.
orange yellow geometric line tattoos down his face with similarly colored eyes.
Um. I'm gonna go take a closer look at the poster, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Damn. I guess I'll turn to the professors who are gathered
Mm-hmm.
and say, was he in any of your classes?
You get a lot of like head shaking and like turning to each other and like, well, what about you? Like, do we know what program he's in? Discussing back and forth until one of the professors in particular steps forward where apparently I lose all my notes the second I need them. But it's a very tall fellow with red skin, a hobgoblin. You don't personally recognize him other than knowing, like, oh, I've seen him around the teacher's lounge. And he says,
Right.
yeah, he's in one of my classes. He showed up the first couple weeks of school and then put in a request to switch to online schooling, which I was fine with. It's easy enough to turn in assignments online. I had noticed that, stuff wasn't being turned in, but I figured, there's no deadline for a lot of my things. I'm okay with stuff being turned in late. I didn't want to hassle the poor kid if something was going on.
Um. Yes, fair enough. So you're the one who called in the wellness check.
No, I was talking with one of the other teachers, and she mentioned one of her students being MIA, and I agreed and mentioned that one of mine was as well, and we realized it was the same student, and she's the one who went and made the report.
Uh. Damn. Is he Do you know what dorm he was in?
Nah, I don't know that information wasn't in his file or anything. I don't think we get access to that sort of thing. Um,
Yeah.
but he
So
was a good kid, a bit short tempered it seemed when it came to frustrating bits of code, but polite enough, asked good questions.
so I have the Sage background, which gives me researcher feat. So
Mm.
would I be able to find out someone who would know where his dorm was?
Uh, you could probably do some digging. It would, involve probably like going to one of the administration offices, trying to get this information, uh, which you certainly can do. But you do still have one class today. So you don't
Yeah.
have a ton of time right now to do it, but you could always do it after class or tomorrow when you only have one class.
Okay, fair. I guess I'll pocket that for after class.
Mm-hmm. You
Um,
fun times. You know how it be.
I'm yeah. Um,
Z kind of like bends down a bit more to your height and says in a low voice, "Why the interest? Is do you know the kid?"
no, I don't know him, but it's always a shame when something like this happens.
Yeah. Wonder if they've already alerted his family.
You'd bloody hope so.
I love Prophet. uh,
Um,
the
yeah, you'd hope so.
the teachers begin to split off. Going to their own work, their classes, their lunches, whatnot. Eventually, Z heads off as well, wishing you a good day and heading off to one of her classes.
He's just like I don't know what the word is, but like he's shook. He's like, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
This like yeah, literally that. Oh God. I guess I'll just I was literally gonna say I know that Ned can't discern that I'm doing a different accent, which I think is funny. I was literally gonna type that. Anyway, I guess I'll just oh, we love to see it. Okay.
Truly.
I guess I'll just head to my next class. If you saw I don't have a lot of time right now. Um,
Yeah.
but I would like to find some means to I want to investigate that room. I'm like personally invested now.
Oh, it's nothing to worry about. Nothing will happen to you.
No, I'm so worried. Okay, I want to get through this class. Prophet is like, fuck this. I'm getting through this class, and then I'm finding out where this kid lives so I can like go check out the room.
Uh, all right. You head off to your class, your last class of the day. It's like probably like 2:30 by this time. Um, you get there to find that the door has already been unlocked, and Norelia is inside, having already unlocked it, and is prepping your classroom. Um, where did I put it? Hold on, just a moment. Where is she? There she is. I finished her emoji the other day, so just there she is. I love she.
We
My beloved. But she glances up as you enter. Hey, Prof, are you alright? You look a bit rough.
very nice thing to say, is it?
Well, do you want me to lie and be nice to you? Would you rather I express genuine concern for my friend?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just thinking about you've seen the notice outside.
About the missing student? Yes, I have seen it.
Yeah, yeah, it's just it's a bit weird, isn't it?
I mean, it's certainly concerning, but also
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
it's it's a big city. People, it's sad to say, disappear. Maybe he left to go back home and didn't tell anyone, or maybe he ran away. At least I hope it's that, and that something worse hasn't happened.
Yeah, no. We're pretty close, right? Me and Aurelia.
Yeah, you guys have been pretty close for a couple of years because you guys were in classes a
Sure.
lot together. And
You know what's crazy?
what?
Like, this is gonna sound crazy because it is. Uh, I had this dream. last night
Mm-hmm.
uh about a student going missing. So it's just kind of mad, the timing of it all.
Go ahead and roll deception for me.
Ah! I've lost 21 again.
Ooh.
17 plus 4.
She kind of watches you for a moment and then slowly nods. Yeah, that is pretty weird. I mean, hmm. Were you watching anything like scary before bed that might have made you think of something like that?
No, I can't stomach horror, me. It's all a bit scary, bit much.
Right. Hmm. That certainly is strange. If you were a magic type, I'd maybe say, it was something prophetic, but,
Prophetic.
exactly. Funny, isn't it?
It's hilarious, darling. However, I'm not into all that gobbledygook.
Alright, watch yourself. I practiced that gobbledygook.
Yeah. Out of sight, out of mind. No?
Hmm.
He's like joking.
No, no, she knows. You guys joke back and forth about this kind of thing often.
Yes, yes. I recall.
But about now is when your students are starting to arrive, file in, get, their little laptops flipped open, their notebooks at the ready, good little students ready to study.
I love them.
um, One student in particular looks very excited about class, sitting right up front, as he always does. It is Gar, a Finch Aarakocra.
Ah,
That
yes. Let me go look at my list.
Yeah, he likes you quite a bit to the point of even going and joining your club.
Oh, yes. Him.
Little fanboy, and he's all like, like when finches puff up because they're like either cleaning themselves or they're cold.
Yeah.
He's doing
Yeah.
that, but he does it when he's excited, so he's all like puffed up, sitting in the front row.
Oh my God. That is so sweet. Um, yeah, I'll welcome my class in. That is so cute. Yeah, I'll welcome my class in. How many people are in this class?
You have about 24 people in this class. So
Um,
so definitely your smallest class, but it's not the smallest class in the university by far.
fair. I'll like slap my hands together. How's everyone been since the last saw ya? Up to any trouble?
You begin to lead your class, discussions going back and forth. First pleasantries, and then moving into your lecture for the day.
Yes.
It's a good day. It goes well. No terribly difficult topics. Class flows okay. Uh, and at the end, as your students are beginning to file out, it's been a couple hours because university classes an F.
Truly, truly.
Um, and as everyone is leaving, you see Norelia start to get up from where she was sitting and approach you, still looking a bit concerned. But she's interrupted by Gar hopping in front of her and looking up at you very excited. Hey, Professor, great class today. I just, I had some questions about some of the classwork that's due next month. I know it's not yet, but I thought I could get a head start. So I had some questions.
Yeah, of course. Far away.
He keeps you guys practically detained for a few more minutes, excitedly asking questions for some project that you haven't even introduced to the class yet, but he somehow dug it up and found it in the syllabus and is already starting on it.
That's so funny. I love it.
uh, so like some of the questions he's asking you, you're like, bro, we haven't even touched that topic yet. um, but at the end, he closes up his books and gathers them all up in his little winged arms. Thank you so much for your help. Um, I'm I'm really excited for the next APS team meeting on Wednesday. I have some really exciting news to share. But I'm waiting. I'm gonna be patient, and I'm gonna share it then with everyone.
Oh, I'm actually so curious. Being patient is certainly new,
Yeah,
but
it's a new
that's
thing
very
I'm trying.
exciting.
Thanks. I can't wait. I'll see you guys then. Have a good night, Professor and Miss Funtink. And he gives you guys a little dip of the head, and hurries out the door.
I love him.
He's very sweet and cute.
He's so cute.
uh, Nor-
Uh,
Norelia laughs a bit as he leaves and glances up at you. Hey, you know, between what you're mentioning and honestly, you look pretty tired. Um, and knowing you, I doubt you had a great amount of food today. Why don't we go grab some dinner? No, I'll cover, don't worry about it. Help you unwind a little bit and we can talk about things.
yeah, sounds good. What were you thinking?
Well, honestly, I'm down for anything. What were you thinking?
Uh, damn, what do we have on campus?
There's a few, like, like university restaurants, but most of them are like grab and go food. Uh,
Oh, right.
there's like a nearby like steak place that is low key a sports bra, but it's still a bit too early in the evening for any sports games to be going. So you'll probably be able to get an hour or so of quiet there before it gets loud.
Sure, that sounds fun. Let's go there.
All right. Uh, you guys head off. Norelia trying to keep conversation light and not too troubling.
Yeah.
um, the restaurant is still relatively empty when you guys arrive. You get seated, order your food. At one point, while you're waiting for your food, Norelia kind of like leans forward in her seat a bit. So I'm taking part in this interesting new project. Um,
Right.
yes, my father invited me on, which is intimidating in some ways and exciting in others. But it's a research study about MP schools. Uh, it's about a variety of topics connected to that, but what I'm most interested in is the recent rise in scores in young people, which includes us. um, but I'm just very excited to be taking part in it and how interesting it's going to be. And I think it's an important topic for the evolving situation of magic in the city. Maybe if you want, I could see if they still have a position open.
Ooh, that sounds very exciting. When's that due to start?
Well, technically, there's like an introductory talk tomorrow morning, and I don't think you'd be required to go to it, but certainly could be something if you're interested. I know at least a couple days ago they were still looking for a staff member to join, but I don't know if they still are.
Oh, well, I'd love to. I appreciate the offer.
Yes, well, it's not an official offer, but I thought, seems up your alley. Especially since, it's going to be involving the body and looking at how that translates to magic and how the body's capacity for magic can evolve over time.
Yeah, no, it's right up my street.
Uh, you two talk back and forth. Her still trying to keep it light, but occasionally, doing like the mom friend thing where she's like, "So, groceries, do you need any? Like, how have you been sleeping? How long have you been sleep?" She's checking up on you quietly.
Yeah, I respond to all of those in a joking way. I give like absolutely no solid answers
Of
to any of
course.
those prods.
Of course. Uh, she looks a bit like down by this, but also, she kind of expects it with you. Uh,
Right.
you're fairly certain that she'll probably be showing up at your apartment a few times this week. Probably just, with some random leftovers she has. She just made so much extra and figured you'd want some.
I love her.
But as you guys are finishing up your meal, the restaurant is starting to get, a touch crowded. There is a game tonight. It is a minor, football game, and yes, it is the British football, not the American football.
Let's go.
Soccer. um, so
Fuck.
people are starting to come in, picking out seats by the screens, talking loudly, and it's starting to get a bit crowded. So Norelia kind of like knocks your shoulder as she stands up and grabs the bell. I'll take care of this. Why don't you go wait outside? We can go on a little walk and talk a bit more before we go home.
Argue with her about who's paying the bill.
No, she does not let you take the bill. She keeps it close to her
No.
chest and hurries up front to take care of it.
Damn. I guess I'll just wave her outside. I'm pissed. I'm like, God damn. No one lets me pay.
Football. Uh, but you hurry outside. Outside, the street is far more quiet. Dark in the early evenings. It's about probably getting close to 8 p.m. now. It's just barely early autumn, so the night chill is just starting to creep in.
Yeah.
And you're, enjoying the reflection of the city lights at night. When you notice something. Uh,
Uh,
the smell from your dreams is back.
oh no.
That musty earth smell of mold. And you kind of
Right.
turn your head just to try and discern where it's coming from and see, uh, almost as if lit and drawing your attention, a nearby alleyway. And the smell seems to be coming from that direction.
Um, can I I definitely want to go down there, but I don't really want Norelia. How do you say her name again?
Norelia.
Norelia. I don't really want her to follow me, so I'm gonna quickly like sneak that way. Not sneak, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna kind of go
Yeah.
there with haste.
Hurriedly walk away before she comes out.
Yeah.
Alright. You hurry on over, casting a furtive glance over your shoulder to make sure she hasn't come out yet. Uh, and you get to the mouth of this alleyway. And that urge from your dream is starting to build up in your chest again. A desperation and worry that curls there like some form of buried instinct that you've never been fully aware of. You've never felt this sort of almost sixth sense that is telling you to take caution, take care. Um,
Um, Down.
but it's still urging you onwards.
I'm
As
gonna.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I do. I have my briefcase on me, right?
Yeah.
Because I said I took it this morning. Great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna like. So I keep my. It is Southland and Chloe. I keep my Yeah, I keep my like. I keep my like the short sword or whatever in the briefcase. So I guess I'll just like unbuckle the briefcase so
Mm-hmm.
that I can get it if I need it. You know what I mean?
Fair, fair. I
And
love
I'll like
that.
keep walking down the alley.
Uh, uh, Ned. Um,
Ned.
you kind of pause for a moment at the mouth of the alleyway. It's long and looks like it's a dead end, and there is a flickering light at the end of the alleyway, like at the,
Ooh.
like when there's a light over a door. It's that sort of light. Um,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah, and it flickers in and out. Maybe the light bulb is running out. Maybe the power to it isn't great. You're not sure. And at first, the alleyway looks empty. But then, like a glitching TV screen with a picture coming in and out, you swear you see the slumped form of the figure from your dreams once again, flickering in and out in
Oh.
time with the light above.
Um. Ooh. I see what the form at what appears to be the end of the alley.
Yeah.
Um. Great. I'm gonna sprint to the end of the alley
Sprint.
to try and touch it,
Hell yeah.
like to see if it's real. You know.
You start booking it down the alley as fast as you can. And as you're, approaching, you start to make out that the hoodie he's wearing has some sort of logo on it that you can't quite make out with the mold creeping across it. You get closer and closer, and then right as you're about to crash into the wall and hopefully touch the body, it disappears for good, and you skid to a stop.
Ugh.
And then there's a voice behind you.
Oh, what was it? Okay.
You took my place. You're taking my place. He killed me to give you the spot. You did this. And you turn to see the man backlit at the front of the alleyway, slumped slightly as he stands, blocking off the only exit from this dead-end alleyway. He begins to shuffle forward, the bones clacking, and the air around him shifts as he begins to look like he is surrounded by black armor as he continues. She's alone now. How am I supposed to protect her if I'm dead? You're going to fix this, or you'll be taken by the rot too. Is that what you want? To be consumed and torn asunder at your first mistake? If you want to live, you need to find insurance so he won't get tired and consume you too. This shuffling undead knight comes to a stop, not far from you, tilting his head to the side. You did this to me, and either you're going to make it right, or I'll hunt you the fuck down. And he raises an arm, and a long, wicked black lance appears, as if he's preparing to attack.
Let me have a look at my spells. That's really cool. However, wait, let me read this thing. Give me a sec.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? Cool. I'm gonna can I try and use control undead through channel divinity?
I will let you know. Let me check. This creature will currently be immune.
Okay,
Because his
okay.
CR is greater than 3.
Sure.
But that second option there would probably be a lot more helpful.
What would be?
Your second channel divinity.
Dreadful aspect?
When a creature is frightened, they have to
Oh
flee.
yeah. I guess I'll use dreadful aspect, and that's a wisdom save DC 14.
Hell yeah. What does your dreadful aspect do to make you look so terrifying to this man?
Oh my god, that's a really good question. Oh my god, I wish I thought of this. I think that damn. Maybe that's when the okay, so Prophet usually looks quite, I think, kind of scary-ish anyway. Like the
Mm-hmm.
pitch black skin, like the plain white eyes. But I think like when I said he's casting is when his like halo or whatever appears. And I feel like that's kind of unexpected to the point where it's scary. So like, I suppose that like um just like slowly growing behind his head. I suppose this
Hell yeah.
really like bright halo.
As this light begins to build and shine upon this shadowed undead knight, uh, he rolled a 3 plus 3, so that's a
Yes.
6. So you see him falter and begin to back off. And he kind of growls and seems to try to say something else to you, but there is a building ringing in your ears, and you can't hear what he says. And then he turns as if to leave, and he dissolves into smoke.
Oh.
And as you're left standing there, kind of freaked out, because one, what the fuck was he? Two, you've never done something like that before. You don't fully know what that was, but that wasn't regular magic, whatever you just did. And then a hand lands on your shoulder once again, a voice against your ear, rattling and husky, and the same as your dream. Good, good. Push aside all those who would get in your way. The path to freedom truly begins now. And then the hand disappears, and the light comes on for good, leaving the alleyway in brightness, and allowing you to catch your breath as you hear in the distance Norelia shouting your name, confusion and fear kind of evident in her voice.
Uh, I guess I would like as I'm catching my breath, like walk out of the alley so that nobody can see where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
As soon as she sees you, she's like running over to you, a bit haphazardly since she is like wearing heels.
yeah, love
But
she.
hurries right over to you and like pulls you into a tight hug. Where where did you go? Uh, are you right?
Um, I guess. Oh, let me think. Oh, I was just he's like he's got like staring off kind of in his thoughts. But he's like, just having a look around.
She kind of narrows her eyes at you and like puts a hand on your cheek to turn your head from side to side, kind of like looking at something, and then she puts her other hand on your forehead. Prophet, you're burning up. Oh my god. Um,
Am I?
yes. Oh, you don't. All right. Tell you what. My father should still be in his lab. We'll head over there. We'll check you out. Use some of his equipment. See if we should be taking you to the hospital or anything.
No, 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 no. He's like waving his hand dismissively. He's like, I'm no need for any of that nonsense. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not crazy or anything.
I'm not saying you're crazy. I'm saying magic can do weird things. If you're having prophetic
I
dreams,
can't
and
sleep.
prophet magic can awaken at the strangest of moments. Please, just for my sake of mind, come get checked out. At least so we know if it's as simple as you being sick or if something else is going on.
He's like, yeah, you know what? I'm sick. I'm woke up this morning, no sleep. Uh, it's chilly out here. Just gotta get some rest, I think.
Good, all the more reason for a doctor to check you out, such as my father.
I am a doctor.
You are not a medical doctor. You're a professor. That's quite different.
Well, devil's in the detail, eh? I'm fine. Do you? Yeah, yeah, I'm fine.
Prophet, please. Even if you're just sick, there's magical illnesses that can do all sorts of strange things to people.
I know. It's almost as if That's what I'm researching.
I know. At least can you? You don't even have to let him look at you at all. I'm just saying he has equipment there, and we won't have to pay medical bills to go to a hospital to get you checked out.
Okay, okay. I'll go with ya, but only because I don't want you to worry, and not because I think there's anything wrong with me.
Well, I am worrying, and thus we're getting you checked out. She hooks your elbow with yours, woman in charge, and walks you very sternly back towards the campus.
Damn. Uh, I'm like paranoid, like as we're walking, kind of like looking around. I guess still thinking about the fact that like, oh, that was that kid from the poster.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it definitely
Um,
was.
oh, 100%. Like he's feeling very shaken up, I suppose, but he doesn't really want to go get checked out because he's like it just feels like everything's a bit much suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Imagine that.
he he goes with her, but like silently, he begrudgingly.
Mm-hmm. Uh, it's not long to get back to the campus and then to head down the hallways to the biolabs. Uh, and she leads you to one in particular that you've been in a couple times before, mainly because you took a class in here in your early university years when you were a student of Professor Von Tink and not just, his daughter's friend. um, but she leads you right in, not even bothering to knock or anything. And you can see the professor is sitting at his desk, apparently working away, and he glances up as you two enter, kind of adjusting his glasses. Aurelia, uh, Prophet as well. Welcome. Are you two alright? Norelia just kind of like wordlessly pulls you over to one of the benches and you sit down. This one.
Uh,
Oh, go ahead.
no, you go.
This one has been apparently having a strange dream and has a high fever right now and looks like he has seen some form of ghost or something scary. Professor Fontaine kind of stands up slowly and heads over. Well, certainly could just be fever. Fevers have been known to cause hallucinations. She holds up her hand. Father, I've been friends with this idiot for years. I know what he looks like when he just has a fever.
Damn, bro. Probably like he's trying to interrupt, but like can't get a word in like edgeways.
This whole time she's like, hooking you up to a heart monitor. She's putting like the little thingy around your arm where she's gonna do the air compression.
Bruh, I'm just like letting her do it, but like only just, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Uh,
Um,
Richard stays back for a bit and watches Norelia work. And Prophet, this whole time, that mold smell has not left you.
oh man. Um, I guess I'll go um to them, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know, come to think of it, I suppose another possible symptom. That symptom seems so dramatic. Is there's this smell. It's I don't know. Can you smell it? Does it stink in here? Not to offend you, Professor.
uh, no, not offended at all. He takes a moment to sniff a few times. Just smells like medically cleaning chemicals in here to me. Is that what you mean?
No, like I don't know. Everywhere I go, it smells like death. I don't know, like rotting.
He immediately looks highly concerned. And starts to reach to grab something from his like cart of equipment, but then stops. Would you be all right if I checked you over? I don't want to do anything without your permission.
Uh, only if I get a sticker and a pat on the back after.
Certainly. You could get that just for coming here. You don't need to. Anyways. He pulls out this contraption that you've seen a couple times before. It's a sort of loose collar that's supposed to drape around your back, across your shoulders, and rest over your collarbones. It is a piece of techno magic that is used for doing surface level reads of MP. To do
Oh,
like
okay. Oh my God.
a full reading takes a lot longer and is more detailed, but this is just for like a quick little checkup kind of deal. Um,
Have I ever had my MP checked before?
I think we said that you had. Let me go
Sure, I forget. I think we said
double check.
major question mark.
Let me see.
But like
Yeah.
Griffith knows what this machine does, right?
Yeah. You've seen it a
Sure.
couple times over the years and had one used on you when you were young, because MP scores get checked when you're like in elementary school, like early schooling.
Yeah.
Like a little class day where they send all the 7-year-olds to get tested.
Yeah, sure. I let him do that, I guess.
He rests it there and presses a little button on the side, and you start to hear the crystals and runes along it start to hum just so faintly. And you feel like the faint, like little static contact of magic against your skin. Um, and he's holding like a little screen in his hand where he's uh, presumably looking at the readings of it. And his eyebrows start to go up. Prophet, do you know the vague range that you were categorized into before today?
I think it was medium, but to be honest, I always thought that was a bit high because I can't really do none of that. Shit.
Right. Well, I would suggest, of course, not require, but I would suggest that maybe you come again tomorrow to get double checked, since this sort of
I
thing can be affected by some various illnesses. But right now you have one of the highest scores I have ever seen.
uh
To the point where this definitely would have been reported if you had this score as a child.
um he looks very hmm. I guess he looks surprised by it. Um, I like roll to see if he like looks concerned or just like, interested or like worried. Like, how does he feel about this reading?
You're asking how you feel, or you're trying to get a read of how the professor feels?
The read of the professor.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll insight.
My wisdom is -1. Insight, straight sick, buddy.
A 6. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, his eyebrows are pressed together, and he looks concerned. But to be fair to him, he always kind of looks a little bit concerned. He's an anxious fellow. Uh,
Yeah.
so it's hard to discern. But from the way he's so strongly suggesting, like, we should come back tomorrow, so we should check you again. You've been friends with his daughter for a while, and whenever you two are ill and trying to get out of going to the actual hospital, because broke college students, he
Yeah.
would give you guys a little checkup and say, like, just get this over the counter, sort of deal. Anytime you've been sick and he's given you a cursory checkup, he's never told you, like, oh, come back and get double checked, unless you were, like, really, really sick.
Then I'll say, and what happens if I get the same reading?
Well, I don't rightly know. You're beyond the age where that sort of thing would be reported to the council. Uh, they, frankly, most likely wouldn't care at all. And even then, I'm not the type to really report that kind of thing. To be clear, you wouldn't be in trouble anyway. It's more a thing of concern, since that kind of thing can be dangerous to the individual in question. Um, the question is, and this is mainly what would determine if there's any danger, where this is coming from, since spontaneous spikes like this, so much later in your life, don't come out of nowhere. They happen for reasons. So either you've contracted some sort of illness that is sending your magical levels out of whack, or you've come into some source of power that is new to your body, and your body is freaking out a bit, trying to adjust to this brand new magic. You have an intense fever right now. He's looking over at the notes Norelia is taking on her end. Your eyesight is quite hazy to the point where normally I'd suggest maybe you have a concussion. Your breathing is very unsteady. I would suggest you taking it easy as much as you can.
Well, sounds like I've got a hell of a night.
Say again?
Sounds like I've got a hell of a night ahead.
Certainly. If I might suggest, me and my research partner are looking into topics connected to MP scores and trying to research that sort of thing. So, if you'd like, come back tomorrow, we'll double check. Because if you're simply ill, then this will already begin going back down tomorrow. These sorts of spikes are usually a one-time thing. But if it remains, then my partner and I can help you look into it and research what can be done about it.
Yeah, appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow again.
Alright. Be safe. Be careful. He gives you like a...
Oh,
What? Go ahead.
one more thing that I just remembered.
Yes.
You know that missing kid?
Yes.
Do you know where he lived? I wanna get some flowers or something for the door.
He wasn't in my division. But I happen to know that he was a technomagic major. So my partner, my research partner, would actually be one of the best people to talk to about it.
Oh, great. Well, I'll ask when I bump into him. Them.
Him, yes.
Him.
Professor Yergio.
You. I couldn't remember.
But yes, if you come by tomorrow, and I think Norelli had also mentioned you were interested in our staff position, which we still have, but that's a far less important right now.
No.
But if you come by tomorrow, I can introduce the two of you, and I'm sure he can answer any questions that you have.
Right. Back stock. Feel much better already. And like I leave with Norelia.
Before you go, he gives you like a little, like a shoulder squeeze, you know? And it's a very fatherly gesture.
Love him. My king. Dad. What?
That energy of when your bestie's dad is a better dad. You know? Anyways.
Yeah. Yo. Wow. Prophet. Can relate. Damn, I guess no, Ned.
I
I guess if there's
think,
nothing else to do this evening.
yeah, Norelia makes a point of walking you to your apartment and like being like, "Are you sure you don't want me to come in and make you dinner? Like, I can stay over if you want." Like, she's going the whole 9 yards, you know.
I guess I don't. No. I actually I wanted to see fucking Nito was being crazy this morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I want to see if he's being crazy with you or if he's just being crazy with me.
Yeah, sure thing.
Yeah, come in. And then I'm like trying to think, he's trying to think in his head, like, God, did I like tidy my clothes off the floor? Like, does it look crazy in there? Um, go in and I like find Nito, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Uh,
Um,
Nito is hiding under your bed.
does he usually do that?
No. And he usually likes Norelia quite a lot, but he doesn't come out when you do the,
The piss piss piss.
you know, the little piss 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 sound to try and call him out, and he doesn't when Norelia does it either.
Oh man. Oh yeah, because you said he usually like waits on my door for me.
Yeah,
Oh
he's
shit.
definitely freaked out about something and will not budge from under your bed.
Can I do? Can I use divine sense?
Uh,
Um,
mm, go ahead.
just to be like, is there some crazy shit in my house right now? But like, but like, obviously, because he doesn't really um necessarily like consciously use the divine part of it yet. Can he just be like, I'm having a look around, secretly uses divine sense?
Yeah. How
Yes.
how big is your apartment? Because I see the range of divine sense is 60 feet.
I'm gonna say small. He, as I said, he likes to live humbly. He doesn't really like. He's not like a material. He's not a material girl. Um, so it's just small, a one person apartment, like little kitchen, living room, like duo bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's small, I think.
You cannot determine the exact location, but the second you activate your divine sense and try to get a feeling of what might be happening, you are nearly knocked off your feet by a powerful undead presence.
Oh. Um, and let me just type out presence in my notes. I can't spell. Um,
And for a moment, when you activate your divine sense, the mold smell shifts into the sour smell of rotted meat.
uh,
But as soon as your divine sense
uh,
ends, it's back to the mold.
oh damn. I guess I'll turn to Nerelia and be like, are the vibes off in here? It feels a bit weird.
And you're asking Norelia this?
I'm asking Aurelia if
Mm.
she thinks the vibes are off.
She kind of pauses and looks around for a moment. I mean, other than your cat being terrified under the bed, I don't really feel anything off. Maybe he can tell that you're sick.
Yeah, I think I just need to do some spring cleaning. Stinks in here as well.
Is it still that same smell?
Uh, yeah, but I'm sure it's nothing.
Maybe we need to get your nose checked as well.
Um, oh man, cool. He like I guess considers that for a moment, and then he's like, actually, I think I might take you up on the offer to stay this evening. I'll sleep on the sofa and you can.
Yeah, if you're sure. She squeezes your hand, like, very, very comfortingly. Uh, and you guys have been friends for a while, so it's of course up to you. But do you think you guys are at the point where, like, maybe she has like a sweatshirt here or something, and you at her house for when you guys stay over?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Hell
I'll like
yeah.
rummage through my phone.
they're besties. It doesn't have to be a romance, unless.
Unless,
Mm. What can
um,
I say? She's hot. You're hot. Yo.
yeah.
Uh, um, but yeah, she takes it and kind of tries to call Nito out again to no avail, but straightens up. Is it all right if I use your shower real quick? It's been a long day. Need to take off my
Yeah, of
makeup
course.
too.
Yeah, yeah, of course. And I'll like grab her a towel or whatever,
Hmm.
like a clean towel.
Yeah. Uh, she heads off to take a shower. Damn, Chloe, abandoning contradiction that easily.
Unreal.
Unreal.
Um,
um, but as she goes, you hear a faint click from like your living room area,
uh, uh,
and you turn to look back down, the short hallway to see that the light that you had turned on when you came in is now off.
wait, before we continue, we're not on like a time constraint, right? Because I don't want to keep you by asking too many questions.
I'm not on time constraint now.
Okay, cool. Anyway, back into the thing. I guess I'll like roll my eyes, go play with the light switch to see if it turns back on.
As you step back into your living room and reach out, just as like your fingers touch the light switch, there is a voice. You can stop right there. I prefer the dark, anyways. And
Oh my gosh.
you turn, and in the darkness, it's hard to make out. Um, but there is somebody sitting in your armchair. And growing up the sides of your armchair are these very faintly glowing lines of mold, kind of underlighting this dark form. And let me grab, this isn't an exact picture, but it's got the vibes. I'll post the picture in a second.
Oh my God, this is not
But
a good day to profit.
yeah, someone specific really just said, "Hey, I'm gonna make myself known." um,
Yeah, love him.
but there are this figure is very underlit, so you can't see a ton of details. But of what you can make out,
Sure.
you see the tips of sharp skeletal fingers draped over the edges of the armrests. Skeletal arms that turn into a flesh torso and head. And then the lower body is mostly flesh, but then turns skeletal once again below the hips. But these exposed skeleton bits of this body, they are not empty. Instead, caged behind the bones is a writhing mass of blood and muscle, curling and
Oh
moving
God.
like individual dark tentacles on their own, with lines of orange pus and rot connecting each separate twitching tentacle of muscle. Of his human parts, he is blonde and rather handsome, and he is giving you a slow, needle-fanged smile. And this is some vague vibes for him. Not exactly, but
Sure. Yo.
you know.
Um, great. I'm gonna. Oh my God. I like again like turn to make sure that like the bathroom door's closed. Norelia's like showering and not involved
Yeah.
because I'm like, yeah, she's out the picture for now. That's good. We'll keep it that way. I will say.
He holds up a hand,
Hold on.
and
He holds up a hand.
as you open your mouth to speak, you choke once again on that thick mold smell, and are unable to speak. And he says,
Uh,
"I'm sure you have many questions, but we'll talk more in depth soon. I'm sure you want me out of here as quickly as possible for your company. But I have a small message that I wanted to give to you. He kind of tilts his head, smiling as he watches you, like, cough and try to breathe past this horrible smell that is turning more and more sour with decaying meat. Young prophet, you've been chosen. Blessed, even. Death calls for you to serve it. And I'm one to say that death does not budge easily. For now, you may know that I am the harbinger of rot. And you are now a prophet in more than just name. You've been blessed to become part of death's grand order, and you will rise above it all. You are welcome, little heretic mine. And then he lowers his hand. You can breathe once again, and the glowing mold crumbles away to ash. Your apartment dark, and the living room empty once more. You're alone in here.
Um. Whoa. I'm gonna. What the fuck, man? Um. Yeah, I'll beckon Nito.
He does eventually creep out now. You get the feeling that he had sensed this quote unquote harbinger long before you had even gotten back to your apartment and was hiding.
Oh,
Cats be like that.
I'm gonna go look at the chair that he was sitting in, to see if there's any like sign of him still there. It's the armchair.
There isn't any visual indications that he was there, but touching the seat, it is a bit damp and unpleasantly. There are small bits of slime left behind.
Cool. I'm gonna like. Can I take like a little sample of it? Like the slime?
Yeah, totally. Find like a little bottle for it.
Yeah, can I like rip like a little bit out of the seat of the chair, like that is damp, so that I
Mm-hmm.
have the whatever's soaking it
Hell yeah.
also. And I'm gonna hide that somewhere where Nerali's not gonna find it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll like throw a blanket over the chair. um so that she doesn't like see it, I guess.
Hell yeah.
Oh man. Um uh the laundry chair, exactly. I gotta go. You know what? Prophet needs a drink. He's gonna grab a drink for him and Aurelia.
Mm-hmm.
um, he goes pours a drink and like waits for her to.
Mm-hmm. She eventually comes out. She's changed into like a tank top, some probably some like comfy sweatpants she stole from you. Uh, and as she's like walking out, getting ready to pull the hoodie on, you note something. You've seen it before, and she's kind of avoided answering in detail about it. But as far as you've known her, she's always worn it under her clothes. But she's wearing a silver necklace with an infinity symbol on it.
Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god, like the one the guy was wearing in the dream. That's really cool.
Hers is not cracked.
Interesting. Um. Yeah. I'll ask her if she wants to have a drink with me, I guess. But I'm like already holding the two drinks.
Already like having half drunk your drink or something.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
She tugs on her hoodie and takes it from you. Are you alright? You look even worse than before.
Uh, yeah. It's fine. Wait. Um, it's kind yeah. It's kind of late actually. I was probably gonna and
Prof.
I like back into the sofa.
She puts a hand on your chin very gently. You you can tell me anything.
Yeah, it's just
Um,
some things aren't super believable.
what do you mean?
Um, you know how I don't believe in uh all the stuff that you do is kind of gonna be like that, where I'm saying something and you think I'm lying, so there's kind of no point. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, that's sort of broad, you know, what I do. But I assume you're referring specifically to divine magic.
Yeah, maybe, perhaps I'm referring to that.
What's going on?
That's quite what?
No, she said, what's going on?
Oh, what's going on? So true, Chloe. Um, I don't know if I want to tell her. Um, do you see? You know what? Actually, I think I am hallucinating. I think that I should sleep, and then tomorrow we'll go to your dad, and everything will be fine.
If you're sure, Prophet, I'm getting really worried about you.
Ah, well, in the safety of my own home, so nothing can go wrong.
She raises a slow eyebrow at you. Are you sure you want to sleep here? You can sleep in your bed, I can sleep out here. I'm good with whatever.
Uh, maybe we. Yeah, okay, Prophet's like, I don't want to sleep by myself because every time I'm by myself, I've seen some crazy shit, but I don't want to ask to sleep with you. He's like,
Do
how do I
it!
word
Do
this?
it, coward!
Uh, Fetterman
Truly.
culling. He goes, maybe, uh, we can like top to toe or something. I don't, the sofa's not that comfortable,
If you
and
don't want to sleep alone, you can just say that.
well, me, you, and Nito, little sleepover, maybe.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, yeah. Why would it be weird? It's not weird.
uh,
um.
she does like a little thumb rub where she has her hand resting against your cheek, and then
Oh, is she still doing that?
yeah, and she steps
He's
back,
nervous.
yeah, and turns towards your room. Prophet, it's fine. You've had a rough 24 hours, it sounds. And if you feel that you are going to rest better with company, then I'm happy to do that.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Hello, Savior.
Sounds good. Hello, Savior. Platonic. That is my cat. Yes. Um. Yeah. He's kind of nervous. So he's like, because like, he has a crush on her just now. She's cute. But he's like, yeah, like kind of wordlessly gets into bed. He's like, I know that I look crazy, so I don't want to say anything else that makes it worse.
You don't look crazy at all. Prophet, look at me. She kind of like lays down next to you and like, you know, tucks the pillow under her chin so she can look at you properly. Don't worry about Savior. Just, you know, platonic cuddling with your bestie in bed. When you've had a very, very rough day.
A very rough day.
Mm-hmm. And you maybe think you're going crazy, you know?
And she's hot.
And she's hot. But she looks at you and like holds eye contact. Listen, all sorts of this is literally Dinah and Florus energies right now. Listen, it's you see a lot of strange things in this city. Magic is weird. Unexplained things happen every day.
Not to me.
Maybe not to you, but they've happened to me. They've happened to others. I understand that it's a bit terrifying, but I'm not going to judge you for struggling with something you don't understand.
He like kind of lost. He's not offended, but like, I guess that's a phrase he's heard a lot. Like, oh, you don't understand it. Like, I guess the whole like divine thing, since that's what we were talking about. I'm like, I understand it, and I understand that it happens to other people, but that shit does not happen to me.
I'm not trying to talk down to you. I mean, you don't understand what exactly is happening to you. Because do you? Do you know exactly what you've gone through the last few hours? Because clearly there's things you're not telling me. You look more and more scared with every passing hour.
Yeah, I just need to sleep.
Alright. We'll sleep, and we'll get you checked tomorrow, and hopefully things will be better.
Yeah, I guess I sleep. I'm afraid to fall asleep now in case I have another dream.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw, just to see how you sleep.
Wisdom saving. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. That's a 7. I'm rolling so bad.
Your sleep is rough. You don't seem to have any dreams that feel notably as present as the other ones you've had, but you do, like, your mind of its own accord flickers through some of the various imageries you've been subjected to the last few hours, scaring you more and more, and at one point you jerk awake, panting again, but you just hear somebody mumble next to you and kind of tug you back down, pull your hair out of its tie and start running her fingers through it to try and soothe you. And it does help some. You still sleep rough, but it's definitely improved with your friend at your side.
Savior. Great. We
And with that,
cool.
Your session 0 comes to an end.
That was the craziest shit.
Yeah, you missed the graphic horror.
You really did. And you missed most of me doing my voice.
No, King, I'm glad you're sleeping. Get that rest.